again, Knights fans, for another edition of the Knights Baseball Roundup presented by FDUKnights.com. I'm your host, Gavin Neville, and we're joined, as always, by the head coach, Gary Puccio. Coach, how are you today?
Doing good. How you doing, Gavin?
I'm doing well. We have a lot to talk about today. It was an interesting last 6 games, very interesting. We started off with going out of conference with a comeback win over Siena. You also took 3 of 4 from Central Connecticut and then had a loss to New Jersey Tech. So I just want to kind of get a pulse of how you feel your team has played the last 6 games.
Pretty inconsistent, to be honest. Very happy, obviously, winning 3 out of 4 from Central Connecticut. They're a very good hitting team, and we played outstanding defense in that series, and I think that was the difference in us winning. I think we turned 5 double plays in the doubleheader that day, and definitely was a factor because they seemed to have base runners every inning, but we seemed to get out of it, which was terrific. Siena win, Siena win's probably a great example of our whole week. We were up, we were down, and we were up, and we're down, and we're up, and then we blow the game in the 9th and come back and find a way to win it in the 10th, which is, this team's learned to come back and find ways to win. Not real happy with the last couple of days. I think we're a little sluggish, a little tired. It's getting into that part of the season. When you have 16 freshmen, again, one of the things that's new for these kids, they're hitting their 40th game of the season.
Right.
High school season, you play 20, 25 games at most. So I know, they're a little run down, and you can just see they're a little bit tired. But, it's 2.5 more weeks, and hopefully they'll finish strong.
So in the win at Siena, it was extra innings. It came down to one of your freshmen, Pat McClure, getting the home run. How much did that help maybe his confidence at the plate, and then just to be able to beat a team like Siena?
Yeah, that was a good win. I mean, we're undefeated against the MAC, which I take a lot of joy in. We Manhattan, St. Peter's, and Siena. Pat's played well for us all year. He hasn't hit as well as he would like.
Right.
But I keep telling him, you're a freshman, and he hits the ball hard a lot. He's run into a little bit of hard luck with that, and it was a great feeling for him to hit the ball out of park and give us a lead, which obviously held on to be the winning run.
And then going to the conference, you started with a doubleheader on Friday against Central Connecticut. You won the first game, 12-7. They out-hit you, more hits at the end of the game. But what do you think was the difference in that first game?
Kresky and Anderson. I think Kresky and Anderson are a difference a lot. They both were pounding the ball. Ryan was on base like crazy, and I think that's the game that Eric hit a 3-run homer, and it just, those two guys have been money in the bank all year long. So that definitely made a difference.
So then in the second game, on Friday, it was another win for you guys to be able to sweep the first doubleheader. Pat McClure gets his second walk-off. It's a single for him. And then you were also losing 3-0 when Riley Moonen, who had also played well early in the week with a bases-clearing double at Siena, he comes through with his first career home run. It's a grand slam. So how much does that change the dynamic of the game and help his confidence?
It's amazing how these freshmen are stepping up. I mean, that's one of the things the past week or so you've been seeing. Pat McClure's had 2 big games. Riley Moonen's had great games. About a week and a half ago at Army, Shane hit a 3-run homer to tie a game. They just seem, as long as they're in the game, they seem to find a way to win, and that's a great thing. And I think it's a great thing for the future of the program. And these guys are freshmen, and they're stepping up in key spots, coming up with big hits or big plays. And as long as they continue to do that, this is going to become a pretty successful program as the time goes on.
Moving on to Saturday, it was another doubleheader with Central Connecticut. You won the first game 5-3, so you had locked up the series win. How much is that going to take the pressure off you guys moving on to the next game?
Apparently not enough, because we lost the last game 12-4 or something. So, but one of the things I said to the guys after the game was, I said, I always tell you, win 3 or 4 at home, win the series. I said, I didn't mean that if you win the 3 games, that means you can just blow the 4th, But, yeah, Central Connecticut's a good hitting team. I mean, it's an impressive win to me for us to take that series, and I think that's 4 series in a row now that we've won. So it's hard to be much better than that. It's just a good sign, and we got to keep dominating at home. That's the name of the game.
So as you mentioned, Central Connecticut picked up the win at the end, but you guys were kind of able to end it on a good note with Brandon Horetzky getting a home run in the 9th, and it seemed like everyone was really happy for him.
It's amazing how even in a bad game, because we played a bad game, but it's even amazing how even in a bad game there's a highlight moment, which is that he is one of the greatest kids I've ever known, and I never saw a team so happy for a kid when he hit the ball out of the park. I mean, everybody was jumping up and down, which was great feeling for him, great feeling for the team. So even though we lose the game, we did win the series, which obviously made losing that game a little easier. And having him do that at the end made everybody kind of walk off with a positive, which, you know, this team seems to find a way to do that as long as we're not playing like non-conference games. And in conference games, we seem to do a much better job of that.
In one of those non-conference games that we don't want to talk too much about was the NJIT game. But one of the positives that came from it was when your senior, Matt Holtzman, moved into the 200 hit club. So can you talk about how consistent he's been for you guys over the past 2 years that you've been here in his whole career?
Yeah, Matt's had a great year. He really has. He's been
first baseman, number
the kid
4.
deserves a lot of credit. He was the starting second baseman here for 3 years. We kind of asked him to move over to third and to DH for us, and he's been a champ about it. I got to say, the kid has responded terrifically. He's done everything we asked to see. He's been a trooper. And he's probably one of the unsung heroes of the team because he's been absolutely dynamite hitting the ball for us this year. 200 hits is you know, like Ryan Kresky got his 200th hit the week before, I think. It says something about that there wasn't a lack of talent here. I mean, those seniors obviously can play, all 4 of them, and you know, one better than the next. And when 2 of those guys can have 200 hits in their career, I know Matt as a freshman was NEC Rookie of the Year. I mean, the kid's got a resume that's outstanding.
And then, as you had mentioned, another one of your senior leaders, Ryan Kresky, joined the 200 hit club earlier in the season. He's also currently leading the nation in on-base percentage. It has to be a great honor for him and I guess for the program in general.
I've said this numerous times, and I guess I'm going to say it forever in my career. He's one of the top 10 players I've ever coached. The kid is a quality player. He deserves to play at the next level. I know there's been people down lately seeing him because when you're got those kind of rankings, people notice. I know the Reds have been down to see him and a couple other teams. It's slipped my mind at the moment, Oakland A's and a couple others. This kid has a future in the game. He's just a solid player. He's got a great eye at the plate. He's got an exceptional arm, terrific glove. There's nothing not to like about him as a baseball player. And I think he's got a great future ahead of him. And hopefully before he gets to that future, he does what he needs to do to help us get to where we want to be.
Well, Ryan was nice enough to talk with our FDUnites.com Kelsey Semler about the season he's been having so far.
Hello, FD Unites fans. This is Kelsey Semler with FDUnites.com. Today I'm here with senior shortstop Ryan Kresky. Thanks for being with us, Ryan.
Thanks.
Ryan, you are one of 4 seniors, the co-captain. What steps have you taken in leading this young team this year?
I've just been trying to lead by example, going out playing hard every day and keeping the young guys, the freshmen, since there are 16 of them, keeping them enthusiastic. Even if they get into a little slump, just patting them on the back, telling them that, I mean, it's a long season, so they'll always have another chance. And even the bench has to be pretty enthusiastic also. So just keeping those guys up, even when we're down, and, I mean, they play a huge role in the game.
Now, the team is having the most successful season since 1999. What do you credit that turnaround to?
We're playing team baseball right now. Everybody in the lineup, if somebody doesn't get the job done, they're just picking them up. Say if somebody doesn't hit a fly ball with less than 1 out, somebody's picking up a base hit, the next guy up. So, I mean, we mesh well together early, and I think that's a big part of the way we're playing right now.
And you are now number 2 in program history for hits, and you just had your 200th hit last week. Talk to me about what steps you've taken over these past 4 years and what has been working for you out on that field.
Just a basic approach. I mean, I don't try to do too much at the plate. I try to go with the pitch wherever it's thrown. And just shortening my swing over the past couple of years has helped too. Put more balls in play and just trying to hit the ball hard every time I'm up.
Sounds good. Well, best of luck with the rest of the season.
Thanks.
Once again, this is Kelsey Semler with FDUnites.com. Back to you, Gavin.
Thank you, Kelsey. Well, now we'll talk a little bit about your next series in the NEC against Bryant. They're leading the league. They're in first place, but they're not eligible for postseason play because they're still transitioning in Division I and into the conference. So how do you – it looks like it should be a good test for your guys this weekend.
They're an excellent team. I mean, their record speaks for itself. They're 17-3 in the conference. I mean, that's an outstanding record. Obviously, we have to go up there to play them, which makes it a little tougher. We're on the road. You know, my line to the guys always is win series at home, split series on the road. It's going to take an uphill battle to do that, but hopefully we're prepared to do that and to go up there and try to split with them because I think if we split with them, the following weekend could be a real exciting weekend here at FDU. But this is no easy battle. This is, you know, you could be staring at 4 losses too. So we've got to work hard. We've got to play good baseball. We've got to do the things that have made us successful, which is play good defense and get timely hitting and throw strikes as pitchers and try to keep the ball in the park. And if we do those things, hopefully we walk out of there in fairly decent shape.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time. Let's do this again next week. What do you say?
I don't know.
Well, we'll have to see. Well, thanks for tuning in for this edition of the Knights Baseball Roundup. Thanks.